Hey everybody, welcome back to Brainiac Baseball's 1980 Detroit Lions alternate history. Week 1 is in the books, and so we're going to do a little Monday morning quarterback here. Well, we'll take a look at the results from yesterday's ball game, and then we'll feature next week's opponent, the Green Bay Packers. We'll talk about them, and then we'll get in right into the point spread and the over-under for next week as well. So, first and foremost, we lost 35-10 to the Bears. You can take a look here, and oops, this is not the game. There it is, right there. There's the results from yesterday, and as far as the first game ever playing the Football Mogul 2017 edition. I feel like I got the hang of it in the second half. As you can see, we did not give up any points, which was fantastic. And I feel like they scored at least on two of the three of our turnovers. So Gary Danielson threw 3 interceptions. We now know that we can't rely on Gary Danielson to be the go-to guy to get things done. Now, the Bears' defense was a much better defense than some of the defenses we'll face in the upcoming weeks. But clearly, Billy Sims is our best player. We went to Billy in the second half. He scored our only touchdown. You can see here we ran for 107 yards on 26 rushes, and he did score that touchdown. So, Billy Sims is our go-to guy. I think that if we feed him the ball, also, Dexter Bussey in the fullback position, maybe working a little Horace King as a running back, giving Billy Sims a break. That's the way to go. And then, try not to pass unless it's a passing situation. Freddie Scott did make 5 catches for 99 yards, but we did have that Hail Mary with 10 seconds to go in the ball game where it was a 30-yard play. So he had some garbage time stats there. If this was fantasy football, that would have been awesome. But that's not how it seems to work. Eddie Murray, he attempted 2 field goals. Both were 51 yards. He made one, missed the other. We know he's got leg, but that's asking an awful lot. So, yeah, if you take a look at the quarterly score here, you'll see that after halftime, we really slowed them down. They did go from a passing offense to a rushing offense. And when I went through and I looked at all the other games that were played in week 1, a lot of quarterbacks were not very successful percentage-wise, but they threw for a lot of yards. 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions for Theismann. And so what that really makes me think is this game doesn't recognize that this is a rushing era. I don't know. Maybe the playbook has something to do with it. I'm not sure. Having said that about the playbook, I did go in and make some adjustments to the playbook. It's actually really cool. I'm going to just give you a quick look at it here. Our playbook, you can choose the offense and the defensive setups. These were the 6 different offensive categories that I that I had to work with. And from the single back set, you can go in and you can choose all the different plays. And then once you get into the play, you can choose the primary receiver or the primary running back. You can change a play from a pass to a run. There's a lot of things you can do. I just manipulated a few of the plays that I thought the Lions offense could benefit from. You could change the assignments. I could not, these are things that can be clicked on, but I don't know what they do. I thought maybe I could switch out Billy Sims for another running back, but it doesn't work that way, I guess. And then down here, it actually shows you the data for the play so far this season. So I've had one play where I've ran this play, and it resulted in a turnover. And it tells you here the different situationals within the game. So anyway, I did manipulate a few things. I think that when we play the Packers, it's going to be a little bit closer of a ball game. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna guarantee anything. As you take a look at the standings here, we do go to Green Bay. I'm glad it's second week of the season and not in December. We'll take a look at the calendar. We're going to switch over to Green Bay, and we're going to show you the Packers, and then we'll show you the results for the contest from week 1. So I have good news for Lions fans. If you look at the Bears offense, no Dickey. There's going to be no Dickey in this game. Their quarterback did get injured for 3 weeks. So we're going to see David Whitehurst, who came in threw 1 touchdown for 13 yards. Overall rating is a 75, so he's not very good. They do have a pretty solid running back. Looks like they go with 2 tight ends in their offense. The wide receivers did not do too much. They don't utilize a fullback, but yet here he is with a going 13 for 46. So I don't know. I guess the Packers utilize different receivers in different situations. We should do that too, to be honest, but I'm just not expert enough to do that. So the backup quarterback looks like it would be Steve Pizarkowitz. If they need to go to a third quarterback, I mean, they do have Hall of Famer James Lofton. They have a pretty good team here. If you take a look at their special teams, they have the Hall of Famer Jan Stenerud as their kicker. David Beverly is their punter. No card there. Jan Stenerud. There's Jan Stenerud in a Chiefs uni. And they've even got 2 backup kickers. Here's the defense for the Pack. Ezra Johnson had 2 sacks. Rich Dimmler had a sack. And 3 interceptions by Johnny Gray. Wow. And 1 by the linebacker Jim Gueno, I guess. So, Ed O'Neill. This is not the Ed O'Neill. Ed O'Neill looking like a wild man there. I guess apparently played for the Lions for a few years. So, but yeah, at any rate, so you kind of get a look at what the Packers have to offer now that they've suffered an injury to Dickey. Again, no Dickey in this ball game. Maybe we have an outside chance of holding them and the offense just by going with the defense against the run game. Okay, so before we take a look at the point spread for next week, let's take a look at last week's winners. Here is the contest for the Billy Sims autograph jersey card that is numbered to 50. So Kent S., he took Detroit and the over. Now, he was right about the over, but you got to win the game first. So he gets he goes 0-1. He's the only guy to have belief in me. So thanks, Kent. But we could not come through for you. John M., he got both right. He took the Bears plus the 3, which he didn't need, and he took the over. It was 36.5, and the total points was 46. So, and then Don T., Sean from World's Worst Gamer, and Jason, Virginia Tech, all picked Chicago, although those 3 picked the under. So, technically, in the lead after 1 week is John M. Now, if you're just finding this series, you can get in on this. It's not too late. I mean, there's only 1 week ahead of you, and there's only one player who's has the sole lead right now. So, plenty of weeks to get involved. So you can join a week late. You can join 5 weeks late. You can miss weeks within the season if you so desire. But yeah, so get involved. Let's take a look at next week's point spread. It looks like Detroit is laying 1.5 points to the Packers, and that's considering they don't have their starting quarterback. So I don't know what that says there. The over-under is 37 points. I have a feeling, I don't know. I don't want to, I guess I shouldn't give clues to my game plan, but as you know, Danielson, not a good quarterback, and Billy Sims got over 100 yards when we leaned on him in the second half. So I would think it's safe to say that we're going to go with the running game. Our time of possession against the Bears, despite losing by 25 points, we were almost 50-50 in time of possession. So if we're monopolizing the time by running, that would probably make me think that we would go under, but I don't know. You'll see here that our passing yards was 143 and our rushing yards was 148. I don't really know what else to tell you. I did make some changes to the offense, and I think, I hope that that will result in some positive yardage for us. And there's going to be more checkdowns. There's going to be more screen passes available, and maybe not so many situations where we are, 3rd and 6, and the only plays that are available to us are, 10 to 15 yard outs, where apparently Gary Danielson can't make those. So, okay, so I think that's about all I wanted to say in this video. Just recap the Bears, take a look at the Week 1 results, and then feature the Packers for next week. So you can go ahead and leave in the comments below whether you're taking Detroit or the Packers with 1.5 points. All right, and then the over/under. You want to go over 37 or under 37 points. Okay. Thanks, guys. The other thing I want to mention is now that obviously the first game was like an hour and 40 minutes. Now that I kind of know what I'm doing, I'm sure that the future games will be shorter than an hour and 40 minutes. So I'm going to keep that in mind as I'm playing the games. And now that I know the playbook a little bit better and what to expect, I do think it's going to be a lot shorter than an hour and 40 minutes against the Packers. So. All right, that's going to do it. We're going to be playing, I guess, game week 2 of the series. That will be on the 18th coming up. Okay, so until then, everyone, have a great day.